Indestructible Gaming. Select your character. Musket Shot. Mr. K. Let the battle begin. Get ready for a battle unknown. 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to Indestructible Gaming and more. I'm Musket Shot. Alongside me, my co-host, Mr. K. Mr. K, hello.
Hello, welcome back everyone to a new episode.
Yeah, right. This episode, I should say, we are talking about a game called Little Hope, and it's from Supermassive Games out of the UK, and they've been around since 2008, so they're relatively newcomers, but they've got quite a few games on their website. They've done a lot of stuff for PlayStation.
These are the guys that are most likely known for like Until Dawn, Man of Medan, and the newer one, Little Hope. These are all mostly in the same premise of games, which is an interactive, I would say, movie game.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I would describe it.
Yeah. They do. I guess their first games were like the PlayStation 3, and they're the ones that were for the Move controller, which I'm not as familiar with PlayStation.
Yeah,
so they had a few
blue ones.
Yeah, so they had a few games for that. They had a Doctor Who game called The Eternity Clock.
Really?
Yeah, it was on PlayStation 3, PS Vita, and PC Steam. I looked on Steam, I didn't see it, and then they had a couple other games on PlayStation 3. One called Killzone HD.
Oh, Killzone.
They had one that was called Walking with Dinosaurs, so I had to look at that one to see what that was like.
Is it based on? There's a show by I think it was BBC. But it was all the same title.
It is. It's based off that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's actually off that because I guess certain dinosaurs you can follow, and stuff like that. And
is it like a fighting game or dinosaurs?
No. I think it's more of a fun game to play with and stuff like that.
Is it like the learning experience?
Probably, yeah, something like that. I would think, yeah. But they had, you mentioned Until Dawn, which came out in 2015 for PlayStation 4. They have some games for the PlayStation VR. They have, this is too bad it's for the PlayStation VR because I'd love to see you try playing this on your VR system. But they have an Until Dawn Rush of Blood on the PlayStation VR. Looks like it's like some kind of like scary roller coaster clown type thing, and I don't know, it kind of sounds interesting, but it'd be kind of cool to see it.
I think I've actually seen gameplay of that.
It looks like you shoot clowns and other stuff.
Yeah, it's like one of those. It's kind of like the Toy Story Mania thing.
Mm-hmm.
You point at the targets and you shoot at it for points.
Yeah.
I think I have seen it. Yeah, it's like a run on a roller coaster.
Yeah. Let's see what else they got. Some other PlayStation VR games. One called Bravo Team. One called The Impatient.
Nope, never heard of those.
They have a game for a thing called Daydreams. Have you ever heard of that? Daydream?
No.
A gaming thing called Daydream? I don't know. There's a game called Shattered State that they did for it.
Interesting.
And then, of course, Man of Medan came out in 2019. Little Hope came out last year. Again, it's on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. And then this year is Little Nightmares 2, which is on Stadia. Again, I'm not familiar with Stadia.
Stadia is kind of like a Google streaming console.
Okay, that's what I thought. So that's not something I have really looked into much, but... And then later this year will be House of Ashes, which will be on
very excited.
All the game systems and Steam. This is another one similar to Man with Dan and Little Hope. It's part of the anthology that they have going. So yeah, it's exciting to see that one come out. Can't wait for that to come out.
Very excited.
So Little Hope, it is the game that we played, and I'll let you describe the gameplay and plot.
So the plot basically takes place after a bus crash that happens out in a place called Can you guess it?
Do you want me to guess it?
I don't know. Do you?
Little Hope?
Yeah. Oh, yay. Do you know what you get as a reward?
Nope. What?
A lovely trip to Little Hope where monsters can find you. And you got to run or hide.
Yeah.
Or both. And basically, you play as these 5 characters.
It's a lot of choice driven.
Yeah, you choose a lot of choices.
Yeah. Choose a lot of choices.
Yeah.
That sounded funny. I don't know why.
But yeah, you choose a lot of
choices. A lot of choices in the game, yeah.
And based on that, your character will either live or die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, every choice that you make, and usually you have, when you do have to make a choice, you have 3 choices. There's one on the left side, one on the right side. And each one is obviously a different choice that you make, something that you say to the person or do.
Yeah.
There's one in the middle, though, that says do nothing.
Yeah, there's always an option to do nothing. So you can play the entire game without even touching anything.
Yeah, you could do the whole game, just do nothing.
It's pretty. You have to explore sometimes in the games in order to progress the story, but
yeah,
choice-wise, you can do nothing.
Right, you can choose the do nothing choice every single time. And they have there's lots of things in the game that you have to do. You do have to use, different things on the joystick. Maybe they may have you run or jump over something. And so you have to press, an A button or an X button or a Y button, or
kind of like a quick time events, but
quick time events.
They change up the button you have to press.
Yeah, like you might be hiding from a creature, and there'll be like a heartbeat all of a sudden at the bottom of the screen, and you'll have to hit the A button in timing with the heartbeat, and then it might change from A to the Y button all of a sudden. And so if you make one mistake, all of a sudden it's, the creature hears you. So
this can be easy, but based on the situation you are in and what monster you're dealing with, it will change the heartbeat.
Right.
So if the creature gets closer, most likely it's going to go faster. Like
Mr. K said, there's 5 characters, 3 men, 2 women. There's a professor, and then the 4 other people are students of the professor that they were on a field trip when the bus crashed. So those are the 5 main characters within the game. There is another character that you'll encounter within the town, but you can't control him or make any decisions for him.
Yeah, there's only certain characters you can't control.
Yeah, this game, similar to Man of Medan, a lot of jump scares within the game.
Some of them predictable.
Yeah, some of them are.
But some of them are pretty well lit up too.
Yeah. There's some that will literally make you jump. So, it really depends on how ready you are for them. I think sometimes after the first couple, you kind of okay, now
you do get used to
this. Yeah.
I got used to it after a while.
The game is it really depends. There's a couple different ways there's a few different ways you can play the game. So you can play the game by yourself, which you've done, right? You can play all.
Yeah, I played by myself. Yeah.
Yeah. You can play with somebody local. So sitting on the couch with them, which I did. Little Hope with my wife, sitting on the couch, and together we did that. And when you do that, it actually allows you to pick. Each person gets to pick between the 5 characters who they want to be. So obviously one person is going to be 3, one person is going to be 2. So I was the 3 guys and my wife was the 2 women. So, but if you do online together, which you and I have done, you don't pick any of the characters. They
you pick your beginning characters, and based on that, it puts you down a certain path with certain characters.
Yeah.
They don't ever change it, but the only way you can change is if you play the opposite character you were playing.
Right. But they don't, as you're going through that game online, it'll just say all of a sudden, oh, Mr. K is this person now.
Yeah, I'll tell you who's who. There's a new section you're in.
Yeah. So depending on where you are and stuff like that, you may not know who you're going to be and stuff like that. So it's kind of, interesting and tricky at times. And you can really, the decisions you make, you can either be, really, sympathetic, caring, or you could be a real jerk.
Oh yeah.
Depending how you are, and depending, you could be doing, I'll be a sympathetic character, but then you might take the character and become a real jerk. It really, it really depends on how you want.
Yeah, if you got 5 people playing as each of those 5 characters, you could do a lot.
Yeah. There's quite a few cutscenes within the games. Within Man of the Day and Little Hope, there's a lot of cutscenes. They're not bad though. I think the animation is really, really good. There's a lot of things you can interact with. There's a lot of things you can find along the way. There's like a lot of little, what they call secrets along the way. There's pictures. Certain pictures will kind of give you a foreshadow and tell you something possibly that might happen in the future.
And some of them actually are the next game, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah. Which is it's kind of weird in a way, but it's kind of different too. I was like, oh, okay. Game doesn't take long to play. You could probably, if you wanted to do this as like a party game, you could probably play the game all in one night with 5 different people and passing the controller around to each person. Yeah,
that'd be very fun and enjoyable. I can see a nice party and it'd be really cool. Imagine all of them coming out and then you sitting down and having a entire party of all of them being played.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because then you could see who's going to live, who's going to die, who's going to make it out of here.
Yeah, and you can decide which one was your favorite and which one was your least.
Yeah. There's one of the main characters, again, someone you don't control, another person you don't control, but he does sort of tell you about the story a little bit and kind of is willing to give you hints here and there.
The Curator.
The Curator.
I really like him.
Yeah. He's an interesting guy.
The motion capture and his facial animations are pretty good. I like the facial expressions he does.
Yeah.
Especially the one where he does like the smile.
Yeah.
Not creepy at all.
He does, and even just what he does with his hands and stuff like that, and how he moves his hands and stuff, it's very realistic looking. It doesn't look goofy or anything like that. So the way he walks around and like
they made sure he's important.
So it's pretty neat. It's a pretty cool character.
Yeah, he's like the one who he's the one who tells you all the stories.
Yeah.
And as you're playing through the game, he'll show up in some random points if you're lucky enough to see him in the background.
Yeah.
He's there to watch your decisions.
Yeah, there's it kind of reminds me of like Rod Serling from Twilight Zone and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Type of thing. But yeah, he'll say to you, he'll say stuff to you like, you'll go back to him and he'll be like, well, I see you've done this, or I see you've done that, or I see you've done well. Everybody's still alive. It's like, he'll kind of tell you things, or he might say, oh, 2 of you have died. You shouldn't have made those choices. It's like, okay. But he'll offer hints if you want them. You don't have to take them. You can say no. So it just really depends on how you want to play the game, whether or not you.
I thought the music was pretty good. It didn't remind me of like horror movies that include like witchery and witchcraft, which is this is a whole based around.
Right. Yeah. It's the story. There's a backstory about Salem, or not Salem, but it's goes back to the witch trials in the 1690s within this town of Little Hope. So there's a lot of back and forth type stuff.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about it too much because it might be a spoil.
But
that's why we've been kind of avoiding things here and there.
There's connections within the game that you'll see, that you come across and stuff like that. So it's pretty interesting.
And as far as we know, all of these stories have a connection in some way.
Right. Yeah.
Except for Until Dawn, because that's one of their past games. They're not that one. I would say if you're a fan of these, if you have a PS4, go get that one because it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
But Until Dawn is not part of the anthology.
Yeah, it's too bad because I'd love to try that one because there's, I think, 8 players in that one? 8 characters?
I don't remember that one. That one was pretty good. I like that one a lot, actually.
Did you play that one?
I wish I wanted that game for so long, but no, I watched it.
Yeah, okay.
I watched it like so many times from so many people.
Yeah.
Really good game.
Yeah, there's a lot to this game. I did find out that there is a little hope in the state that we're in. So
let's go there. 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah, right.
Ghost hunt.
So I thought that was pretty funny. But I guess apparently there's a number of towns across the U.S. that are called Little Hope. So who knows? It could be like, it's kind of like the Springfield in The Simpsons. Which Springfield is it?
There could be one next to you.
That's right. You never know. You could be listening to this podcast and be from Little Hope.
This would be the point where Rod Sterling comes in and narrates your life about how we're haunting your car or something like that.
Exactly. But it's a lot of fun. The game's a lot of fun. It's got a lot of replayability because obviously, depending on the choices you make each time, it changes the storyline and stuff like that. So,
oh yeah, you can have many different out of how these characters live or die.
Yeah. My wife and I played it last week. Like I said, we played it local co-op. Sitting in the same room. So next time we play it, she wants to be on one Xbox and I'll be on another one and play it that way. Because I told her it's a completely different gameplay the way you play that way. Because playing together in the same room, I can see what choices she's making because that's not hidden. But when you're playing with somebody online, the choices are hidden. You can't see. You just see the person that you're dealing with just staring at you like lost, but it's because that person's trying to make a decision. So
when you do it online, you see 2 different sides of the story, but you're only permitted to that one side of the story. You cannot see both.
Yeah, but you get to both do sometimes different things within the game. So you can
eventually meet up and do decisions together. So that's cool.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, it's it's a very unique. Well, I won't say it's unique because I'm sure there's other games like it, but just a lot. There's not many.
There's not many that really come to mind, at least on like Xbox, that do that. Yeah. So I'm happy that they decided to release this on Xbox.
Right.
There are many like this, but that's all like PlayStation exclusives.
Yeah.
They don't have many of those on Xbox, so I'm happy to have those to be on there.
Like I said, I'd love to see them. I'd love to try to play Until Dawn, and hopefully maybe that's something that they'll release to Xbox at some point.
Yeah, because if they remastered Until Dawn and put it on there with the Xbox graphics, that would look really good because Little Hope looked really nice.
Yeah.
I really liked how the atmosphere looked.
Yeah, and that's and I reached out to Supermassive Games a few weeks back to see if they would be willing to do an interview with us. I haven't heard back from them, so hopefully maybe someday down the road they'll
maybe
have time to do that because I'd love to sit down and ask them some questions.
It'd be really cool
on the games like Little Open Man and Medan and stuff like that. In House of Ashes that's coming out. So
we could ask if we could do a House of Ashes giveaway. That'd be cool.
Exactly. So trying to think if there's anything else that we want to mention without giving away too much in the game.
I mean, were there any funny experiences that you had?
Well, I think there can be. It depends on, again, the choices you make and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you had one in Man of Medan. I was telling my wife about that, one of the characters has a girlfriend and proposes to the girlfriend, and you were controlling the girlfriend at the time, and you decided to choose to do nothing.
Oh yeah, I just
choice, and your character just stared at the person, and So it's stuff like that. I wouldn't say there's just a lot of humor in the game. It's more of a psychological thriller type game, I guess. Kind of horror based most of the time, but. Like you said, I mean, depending on the choices you make, you can sort of make it sort of funny in your own way, I guess. But like it, I mean, And depending on how you play and choices you make, you might get everybody through to the game alive. You might not. You might end up with nobody alive at the end of the game.
Yeah, it's definitely possible.
So, and you've played this game a number of times. I know you've played Man of Medan a number of times. How many times have you played Little Hope so far?
I think I played like maybe 3 times.
Yeah.
I think I played Man of Medan 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
I still can't believe that one ending I got. I worked all the way up to the end just to have all my characters be shot in the end. And all of them die.
Mm.
I was like, come on.
But that didn't happen in Little Hope. So
no.
That happened in another game. But but yeah, it's I don't know, it's just a lot of fun. The game's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I like.
You don't have to be. You don't have to really be super skilled at video games either to play this one. So it is a game that you could have some inexperienced people play the game as well. I
really like roguelikes, and those consist of things changing all the time, and lets you replay them countless amount of times and have a different experience each time. Which is probably one of the main reasons why I like Man of Medan and the Dark Features Anthology so much.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a really cool idea that they want to do. I'm really happy that I'm able to experience them on my Xbox.
Yeah, this game kind of reminds me, this A Way Out is a little bit like this. A Way Out doesn't have as many other choices though.
Games I would probably say related to this would be like games like Heavy Rain. Mm-hmm. There was another one. I can't remember what it was though. It was some cop game that was also for PlayStation. Like I said, most of them are on PlayStation.
Yeah, but Telltale games are probably the closest thing.
Yeah.
To this,
let's say that.
Because those had a lot of choices. I mean, and other things you got to do too, but that's probably the closest to these. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. The only problem I have with the game is towards the end, I feel like there could have been a little bit more added to the game, and I'm not sure if maybe it's just me, but I feel like it just kind of lost some of it towards the end of the game. I have that same feeling. But it's still a really good game, so I highly recommend it. I don't think you'll be disappointed playing it. That's for sure. Oh yeah, definitely play it. I highly recommend it. If you like horror movies and like interactive games, you'd probably enjoy this one a lot. Yeah, absolutely. Now I'd have to give it an 8 because, like you, I didn't really enjoy the end of the story. Towards it, I thought it felt pretty quick for it. I don't know. I feel like they rushed it in a way. But I do like the characters. I wish I got too used to the jump scares. I mean, I'm one that watches a lot of horror movies and plays a lot of horror games, so maybe I'm just used to it. But I thought that the jump scares are always the same, kind of. Yeah. At least most of the main ones. But I still think this is a very good game. Definitely go try it out. Yeah, definitely. But so next episode is a very special one. Yeah, next episode we hit number 50. The big 50. So we decided to take a look back at the 50 episodes that we've recorded and to kind of do our own top 10 favorite games that we played so far and talked about. So we'll each give our top 10 games and see how we do. Last time we did this, we did on our 25th episode, we did the top 5 games. And we didn't plan it out. We didn't talk about it beforehand, but for some reason, the top 5 games we had were exactly the same. Yeah, so we're going to try it again and see if we get to do it again, because that'd be funny. Yeah. I think it'd be pretty hard for us to come up with the same top 10, I think, but we'll see. We'll see. Who knows? But so we'll do the top 10 games that we played so far out of those 50 podcasts, and hopefully we'll have another little surprise for you also as well within the podcast. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have a surprise guest. It's going to be me from the future in the editing booth.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to edit myself into certain segments and I'll have a whole conversation to me.
There you go.
In the booth.
Interesting.
We'll have a we'll have an interview with myself.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that would be pretty interesting.
Anyways,
all right.
I hope you enjoyed the episode. We'll see you guys next week.
All right. Or whenever.
Whenever the episode goes up.
All right. Well, talk to you later.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Folks. Take care. Peace.
Game over.
Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you enjoyed the episode. We're on Facebook and Twitter, and if you go on our website with the same name, you can also find us on all the other kinds of stuff you can listen to us to. Anyways, hope you have a wonderful day, folks. Stay indestructible, and peace.